What's up? What's up? What's up? It is your girl Survivor Speaks, and I'm here with a quick live. If you are in the building, please hit the like button. What's up, Allie? Thank you so much for hopping on in. Thank you. So I was just discussing this case yesterday with a friend of mine, the D4VD case. I was, expressing my anger because it felt like the case was going nowhere. And, when we hear about things, especially over in the true crime community, we kind of research it. In some cases, actually become all that you can think about, because all you want is justice for the victims. And so for Celeste Rivas, who will always be 14 years old to me, forever 14, because she was not 15. It's already been proven before her life was taken from this world, just gone too soon. So we didn't hear anything about the case. The LAPD was keeping everything tight to the vest. There's so many stories out here about Celeste. We've seen a lot of evidence online about David, or D4VD, whatever you want to call him. I went down the rabbit hole and watched almost every interview that he ever did. And when I tell you disturbing I don't even think disturbing is a good enough word to describe. When you look at interviews and you're viewing them for just that, it's an interview, right? But when a young girl is found in the frunk, and they call it the frunk because Teslas have a trunk in the back and a trunk in the front. So instead of calling the trunk in the front a trunk, to distinguish between the two, they call it a frunk. The frunk is not bigger than the trunk. It's way smaller than the trunk. To discover a child stuffed in a frunk, there's conflicting stories. Initially, they said that she was dismembered. Then they said she wasn't, and maybe because her body was so badly decomposed that maybe, her limbs started to detach. Let me see if I can get a trigger warning. What's up, Lynn Ali? Allie, can you drop a trigger warning in the chat so I can put it on the screen, please? Thank you. And so now, and I'm gonna be the first one to say, right, I was a little upset with TMZ, but Harvey is an attorney, and Harvey has a lot of connections. And the way they were reporting the story at first, it seemed to have taken a shift. And a lot of people were upset, right? Because it wasn't what we wanted to hear. But TMZ has broke the story and has new evidence. Thank you so much, Ali. Thank you kindly. So TMZ has broke the story once again, because Harvey, called the police department. He wanted to know what's going on with this case. Are there any updates? They still don't have the cause of her unaliving yet. And they are continuing to say that they are still waiting for the toxicology reports. We do know that it takes some time for the toxicology reports, but some of the things that have come out after, the owner of the home that was rented for David, came out. It was like, wait a minute. So how did they go in? And it's the police department. How did they go into this house and was in there for about 8 hours, looking for evidence? And then the private investigator that was hired was able to find so much more evidence. Like afterwards, they released, hey, Nessa, hey, I'm glad to see you. I'm glad you're here too. And so he was able to find a lot of information. He was able to piece the information together, because he had already been working on another case about another teen in the area. So he wasn't hired by the homeowner yet, but he just started working on the Celeste case as well, just in case, because he was hired to find another teenager. So he started looking into the Celeste case, talking to her neighbors. And so when the owner got frustrated because he wasn't hearing anything from the police department, he hired Steve Fisher as his private investigator. He wanted to get information about if he could find anything in his property to help him and his family, to give to the public and to give to Celeste's family. I'm not going to talk about Celeste's family because I'm not sure how to feel about her family. I feel bad that she's missing, but there's information has come out afterwards, and I'm not talking about like any information where it's just like rumors that are going on. I don't do all that. That's why you don't see me on here every day trying to get a click in a view and talk about Celeste and because this case, because there's nothing new to really report. So when I do come on and report something, that means that there is something new in the case that we are reporting on. But there is proof that after the family filed the missing report for Celeste, that there was proof that she had been back home after that. And what should have happened was the family should have contacted the police, and the police, would have, spoke with Celeste and then taken things a step further. But the family never said anything. And so she's going and coming as she pleases. David was sighted in her neighborhood. He is on. There is video. And he lived in Hollywood Hills, which is 70 miles away from where Celeste lived. Either way it goes, the public is outraged about this case because, all we kept hearing was, David's not a suspect. David's not a suspect. David is not a suspect. They are not going to be looking at David. They're not going to be. And I'm like, how? Any other citizen, in any other person that has a car registered to them, and there is a decomposing body found in the trunk, not I can guarantee you the cops will be boop, 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 boop. We need to talk to you, bro. This dude was on tour, and so he was told that, hey, your car, there was a body found in your car, and he just was like, okay, on to the next venue. Here's some very disturbing details about David. And I looked, and about his actions. Once Celeste was unalived, he started adding a casket to to his shows. If I'm lying, I'm dying. Listen, he started adding a casket to the show. So uh, when a crowd would come to his show, there would be, you know how you go to a funeral, there's a casket, there's flowers on the outside of the casket, like, you know, people, and that's how it would be set up inside. And he would tell them, you know, sign the casket and write something on there that you would write for one of your loved ones. I just feel like all of the things that I've come across myself and looked at, it seems that David was taunting the police. He's a sicko. When you first, on the surface, when you look at, you know, how successful he is, and everybody is claiming that, oh, he just started making money. He just became, that's not true. He was a YouTuber and a gamer first. How he became famous was that YouTube started cracking down on the music that you use in your videos, and that if someone struck your video because you were using their music, you're not getting monetized for the video. The monetization is going to go to the person who owns the music. So he complained about it to his parents. His mother told him, make your own music. So what he did was he created a BandLab account, went into his sister's closet, and he wrote some music that he could use on YouTube. But he, you know, he was a gamer on Twitch. He had a channel on Twitch. He put the music on TikTok and it took off. It took off. Then he got a deal with Fortnite to make a song for them to put behind one of their videos. It took off. A lot of you probably heard the song, and we just didn't, unless you're his fan, you probably didn't know it was him. And then he has another song on another game, Fortnite, with 21 Savage. So it was after that when the record labels started reaching out to him. His father is an attorney. I'm gonna say that again. His father is an attorney. He definitely is. His mother is a teacher. But the question that I asked, and I saw somebody else that did a video, I watched it, and they asked, somebody in the comments asked the same question. His mother's a teacher, but he was not homeschooled for some time. He was suddenly taken out of school and homeschooled. That would be my question to his parents. Why did y'all take him out of school? Why was he taken out of school? Wasn't nothing to do with COVID. Why did you feel he needed to be homeschooled in the 7th or 8th grade? That's a question that I asked because I was doing my research, and like I said, watch his videos. He's as arrogant as can be. And in the videos, you will be sitting there speechless because you'll be like, wait, hold on a daggone minute. Like, just everybody just pump the brakes, hold the button. Did he just say? So he made this song called Romantic Homie on the side. Y'all know that's what, you know, you can't say a lot of stuff here on YouTube. He made this song. The song is disturbing at best. The song was made way before Celeste was taken from here. For me, I think that, well, I know, according to David, according to one of his interviews, he's into gore. And he did a video on his Discord one time. Like, people record your Discord, so you're going to put it up and think that you are taking it down. No, somebody's recording you. They didn't like the fact that he was messing with young girls, and they were calling him all types of PDF files over there on his Discord, and they couldn't wait till the cops caught him. Do you know that the girl that you're dealing with at the time, she was only 13? Let's keep in mind that Celeste was 11 when David first started talking to her. She didn't meet him personally until she was 12, but she was 11 years old when he started talking to her. It's very disturbing. It's crazy. So he's into gore. He said he likes gore better than he likes corn. Corn on the cob. Y'all know what I'm talking about. We can't say that word over here either. But he likes that better. And just to think about it, like, what? He has a whole alter ego, and his alter ego is evil. His alter ego is evil, but David thinks he's a lot smarter than a lot of other people. If you watch his videos, he thinks he's a lot smarter than. He is obsessed with how can I say? Because as soon as you say something on here, they be like, you know what, your video ain't suitable for this and all this other kind of stuff I see in the back end. Y'all don't see it, but I see it. It's just crazy. Like YouTube, I don't understand. But he's fascinated with unalivings, people being unalive. He's fascinated with it. And so he did an interview with two people, and they asked him a question. And he just, because he think he's so smart, he didn't get it. This was before Celeste was unalived, but it spoke volumes. They asked him, because of the type of music that he writes, does he think that what he's writing can become his reality? And he's serious as all get out. Oh, well, I hope not. But a lot of the things that I've written in my music is starting to come to pass. But I hope not. I said he's so stupid. That he's so smart that he's stupid, and you don't even realize what they're asking him. And at the time, it was nothing, because this didn't happen. But TMZ broke the story today. We're going to look at the video. I'm going to play my disclaimer. Maybe I'll play my intro as the outro. I'm tired of these people just, I got somebody from China that keeps striking keep putting these strikes on my videos. So you own my music. You don't own my music. I'm getting annoyed. I am about to contact YouTube and ask them what is the problem? I don't know what this person is, what his malfunction is, but probably every 1 to 4 of my videos, he said I'm using his music. I 100% own all of the music that I play on this channel. So it's bad enough that YouTube already just copyright strikes it because the music is registered. But then now I'm dealing with this guy. This is about the fourth time I came online, and he had struck one of my videos. So I'm just a little upset about that, because what is I got a whole music channel that YouTube set up. It's there. What is the problem? I don't know. But I am sick of this Chinese guy that just you keep. I don't know what your deal is. Do you hear the tag? Do y'all hear somebody that keeps saying something in the video? That is a tag of the producers. So, he's continuously saying, Mook, you did it again, marvelous. That is his tag. So how could the Chinese person tell you what that is? He can't tell you. Can he tell you who that is? He wouldn't be able to tell you. I know for a fact that this producer never worked with this person. I'm just tired of them striking my videos and you claiming my music that's not yours. And I listen to the music that he's saying. It's not the same. So it's just crazy. But anyway, TMZ has broke the story because Harry Levin did contact the LAPD department, wanting to know were any updates on this case. And they did. And as we know, up until now, David was not mentioned as a suspect. He had, as a matter of fact, he has not been questioned or anything like that. From what we understand, they don't even know where he is. The only people that know where he is his attorney and his parents. But the public is outraged, and I'm gonna let TMZ's video play so you can hear it directly from them. I do have the a video source in the description of this video with a link to this 5-minute video from TMZ, and I'm using this video for education under the Fair Use Copyright Act of 1976. TMZ, do not strike my daggone video, because we're going to have a problem, and the public wants to know, and the public is just not going to keep coming to your channel to find out. So let me just play my disclaimer, and then we'll get right into the video. This video is being shown to you under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowances is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, education, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Smash that like button. Let's go. All right, and we are back. And you know what? I knew y'all. Let me see, y'all, if I can. I might need to, before I play this video. Oh, no, because I already know I should have restarted this before. Let me see if I could detach this and reattach it, because, yeah, I don't know why this thing does that. I don't know why it does that, but let me see if... I just don't want the video to be blanket. But anyway, I'll try it. If it's skipping, I'm gonna have to try to refresh and come back in. I don't know why I have these issues, but I do. All right, and so I just want to make sure I say hello to everybody that is in the chat. I did say hello to you guys that are here. If you can hit that like button, please hit the like button. If you remember, there's a new hype button that shows, it appears on if you're using a phone only, and please hype the video up. YouTube has come up with another free way for you to support the show. Thank you so much, Ali. YouTube has found another way for you to support the show for free, and it's the hype button. It's hype points, and so they mean something as well. And so I'm going to bring the video over from TMZ, and hopefully I don't have to, I don't have any issues with it. It doesn't. All right. And so let's see. It's an update. It's a good one. At least we are getting this from the police department, because all we were getting was that, oh, they're probably going to charge no one. They're not going to be charging anyone. They don't have any evidence. And this is why I just wait, because, like, you know, there's some channels here on YouTube, and I get pissed off about these channels just so they can make money. They got it that David was arrested. He went to court, and he had this whole anger, like, in YouTube, you know, they are always messing with content creators that are really doing content, but then you have these channels that's out here, they're faceless, but they're spinning narratives and telling lies in the videos. Like, it's annoying, but it's happening. And I heard they're taking down channels. I still see those channels, and I think I'm gonna have an update for y'all for P. Diddy as well. Stay tuned about that. Oh my goodness, he's a real winner chicken dinner. Dumb, but okay. All right, so here we go.
Hey everybody, we just broke a big story, a huge story really, on the website in the David investigation, in the investigation into Celeste Rivas's death. I know everyone has been waiting to hear something about this. It has been 2 months since Celeste's decomposing body was found in David's Tesla, and now we know, you know, if you for 1 second thought that the police had forgotten about this and this case was not going to be solved, we now know that the police have been working diligently on this case, And here's what we have found out from our law enforcement sources. David is viewed as a suspect in this case. That may seem obvious, but remember, they have not publicly said anything like that. They have not even said publicly that he is a person of interest. We've spoken to several well-placed sources in law enforcement, and they say that in the investigation, they are viewing him as a suspect. Another thing is they're viewing this as a homicide. We told you more than a month ago that the key thing here is police were waiting to get the medical examiner report back, and they wanted to find out the manner and cause of death. They wanted that from the medical examiner because the reality is at this point, yes, they know that her body was decomposing, that it was chopped up, but they don't know how she died, and they were waiting for those results. We are told they still do not have toxicology results from the medical examiner's office. However, what investigators do know so far is leading them to treat this as a homicide. They're still waiting for the medical examiner report to back that up, but they are viewing David as a suspect and viewing this as a homicide. So there's something else here that's two more things we got to tell you about. And one of them has to do with the fact that there could be other arrests here. David may not be the only person that they end up arresting in this case. We'll tell you why in just a moment. Now, here is another very key fact that we have been told, that there was in the spring of 2025, they have information, police do, about David going to Santa Barbara County, a remote area of Santa Barbara County. That's how it was described to us, that he went to this remote area, spent several hours there, and then returned to LA. Don't know anything more at this point. Don't know. Spring of 2025 is a long way from September, early September, when her body was found in the Tesla. So we don't know yet what exactly that direct connection is, if there's a direct connection to the case, but they have this information about him going to that remote area, and they are trying to find out more about that. So what I'd said about other arrests. So again, they don't have the manner of death yet. They don't have the cause of death. What we're told, though, is the manner in which the body was dismembered leads police to believe that whoever did that to Celeste had help, that it was not something that whoever the person is who did it could have done by themselves, and likely, we're told, did have help. Now, we are not being told that there are any other people they are viewing as a suspect. We're not told that there are other persons of interest, just that what they've seen with the body and how it was dismembered, it likely, they feel, was not done by one person. So right now, again, just to recap, David viewed as a suspect by investigators on this case. They view this as a homicide, still waiting for the ME's report to back up the fact that her cause of death is a homicide. And this mysterious Santa Barbara trip in the spring of 2025, I think that is going to be interesting if police can find out more. And then the final question is, who else was involved in dismembering Celeste's body? Don't have an arrest yet, but this is a good sign for people waiting to see if there is going to be justice for Celeste. You know, a lot of times when these cases drag out, people start to think the police aren't doing any work. We saw this with Brian Kohberger in Idaho, and then it turned out the police had been diligently covering all their bases here to try and bring someone to justice. Maybe that is going to happen for Celeste Rivas and her family after all. Of course, if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel to get all the latest on this case.
So that is the video. And, you know, shout out to TMZ for that information, because I was getting so frustrated with TMZ at one point. But however, because there was a reason. So David hired an attorney, and she is a friend to the person at the show. So it was like the narrative started shifting from the way they initially started reporting. and it kind of made me I was a little upset about that. But now that they have more information, and now they're actually going back to what it was, what he just said in the video, the last time I gave you guys an update about David, we did talk about that. The private investigator did go inside the home, and there was a video, and he looked at the video, and he did say that there were 4 or 5 people that was on that video having a conversation about how to get rid of Celeste's body. He turned he white as a sheet. He looked like he saw a ghost when he started talking about it. He said it was very disturbing. Some of the things that he found in the apartment, in the house, you would normally not see that in a home. He said it was, something that you would find on somebody that has a farm. But then he also alluded to there being some type of substance that can, make her body go away completely. So I was thinking like, oh, maybe that's acid. He just didn't want to say, he didn't want to give too much information about, telling you everything about what he found. He wanted to make the public aware. And of course, he was hired by the owner of the home. And so if the owner of the home told him to give you information, he was, but then he still wanted to keep the integrity of the case with the LAPD without stepping on their toes. So he actually did respect that they're still investigating, and he gave us what he could. But he knows who moved that Tesla and put her there. And I can tell you from the dates that Steve Fisher gave us, on the day that the Tesla was parked there, Celeste had to already have been in the front. After the person that was driving, he won't say who it is, but after they were driving, they drove the Tesla and parked it. David's tour bus pulled up, and the person got out the car and got on the bus. There is a video that I did watch. I did see it on my own, where David, his assistant, who has since scrubbed his social media sites with anything related to David, him and a young lady was on the bus. They were eating chicken sandwiches. So you have the people that were David's moderators, acting like they didn't know Celeste. I didn't know this. I didn't know that. But we all know that when you put something on social media, even if you erase it, it never goes away. And people are recording, screen recording. And especially in David's case, there are a lot of people that was in that live where Celeste made the statement that, and David told her, I media trained you. She said, no, you didn't. He said, yes, I did. That is controversial. And she said, oh, it's controversial graping kids. Oh, so he told them to delete everything, all of his videos, delete them all, and delete this video once they got off live. There is a second home though that was an Airbnb. They called it the streaming house, and I believe that Celeste spent more time at the streaming house. The streaming house was an Airbnb that David rented, and the house was back on the market for rent. And so from the streaming videos that David had done with Celeste, the internet sleuths they're on it, and they were able to say, oh my gosh, look, you can see the pictures of what's inside the house on the listing. And they were able to say, oh, well, they were sitting right in front of these paintings in the kitchen, because it wasn't David's stuff. It is whoever's renting the homes, stuff that is on the walls and stuff in that home, and it definitely matches. So, like I said, David thinks he's above the law, I believe. I think that he has this alter ego that he says that, unalives people. And he had came up with this whole thing that, they hired him to, to find out who was committing these crimes, but they didn't know that he was the one committing these crimes. So that's what he said. I essentially was solving my own crime. So he's a whole piece of work. Now, let's just to talk a little bit about P. Diddy. Diddy, the Diddy that don't run the city. He don't have the key to the city no more. He don't have nothing. He don't even have the key to his permanent residence, as of now. He doesn't have any of that. He don't have none of that. But Diddy, just how? So there is a story that came out that Diddy was caught drinking hooch. Hooch is what they call liquor that they make in jail. So what it is they save, if they get fruit, apples, oranges, what happens is they save that stuff and they make like a hooch out of it. It's wine, whatever you want to call it. They're saying wine online. I used to be a correction officer. It's called hooch. Actually, and if you go into where I worked, I don't know about where he's at right now, what their rules are. But if you go into a room and you're doing a shakedown, and you see that an inmate has an abundance of oranges, apples, or any other fruit, they could be charged with that. We normally take it and throw it in the garbage. Telltale sign that they had this fruit and they're waiting for it. They don't need it fresh. They sit this fruit out for days on end until like it's no good. You wouldn't want to eat it. That's part of the process of how they make it. And so then, when you have fruit and stuff just sitting around, sometimes you have fruit flies that start to, form. And you're in a closed setting with these inmates and you're not, Diddy's still getting in trouble, girl. But wait a minute. Hold on. Let me see if I can find a story real quick. Somebody sent me. And I couldn't find it. And if I can't find it, I'm going to just probably have to do a video or something on it. But no, I don't want that. Diddy is under investigation, y'all. But I wanted to actually pull up. See if I can pull up the article. Yeah, because I wasn't home. I just came home and just scheduled a live. So let me see. And somebody sent it, but the story wasn't attached. So let me see if I could just pull it up right here really quick. If not, I have to see. Okay, yeah, here it is. Yeah, okay. So many people do have it. Let me see which one we're going to go with. I'm going to go with a reputable news. So we'll go to the Los Angeles Times. I have to put this in my... Okay. All right, so I have it here. Let me just see, because listen, I don't need nobody's ads showing up. All right, let's all right, here we go. So Diddy, as I knew would happen, but I thought it would be the feds that would be doing it. Here we go. New claims that Sean did oh no, not that. This is not it. Hold on, y'all. I thought this was it. Hold on. Well, this is something that's new. So this is not what I was sent, but this is something that they just posted. So this is published on November 17, 2025, and this is the Los Angeles Times. Sean Diddy Combs was serving 4 years in federal prison for using prostitutes and freak-offs is under investigation by the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department in connection with new allegations. Also, it is here of SA. Now, no, I can't say that on sexual. Yeah, a record producer alleges Combs assaulted him on 2 occasions. The Sheriff's Special Victims Unit initiated the probe because one of the incidents occurred in East Los Angeles, according to Nicole Nishida, a department spokeswoman. The producer reported the allegations to police in Largo, Florida. Florida-based music producer John Hay revealed in media interviews that he was the John Doe plaintiff from a civil lawsuit filed in July alleging assault. Oh, I do remember this one. This is the case where he said that he was in the gym, and they were saying that Diddy used to go in these gyms allegedly, and so yeah, this is, I remember this, but I didn't know I thought it was just a story at the time that I first heard about it. So it says a producer who was not named by law enforcement investigating all the allegations alleged he was subjected to SMEX acts in 2020 and 2021 while working on a remix project of, so this is something totally different. Oh my gosh. Hold on. While working on a remix project of music by Biggie Smalls, aka Christopher Wallace, which put him into contact with Bad Boy Records and Company executive Combs. Combs' attorney responded in a media statement. As Mr. Combs' legal team has repeatedly stated for over a year now, he could not address every meritless allegation in what has become a media circus, civil attorney Jonathan Davis said. Let me make it absolutely clear, Mr. Combs categorically denies as false and defamatory all claims that he sexually abused anyone. He looks forward to vindicating himself in court where such matters are decided, and not in the media, based on admissible material evidence, not rank speculation and unsubstantiated allegations. The lawsuit states that in December of 2020, the producer was at a warehouse in Los Angeles that housed some of Notorious B.I.G.'s clothing. The items were being donated to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame later that year, when Biggie would eventually be inducted. Combs provided D-rugs to everyone present. Everyone there, doesn't it sound like, we found that out in the trial. Doesn't sound far-fetched, at least that part, is in the transcripts. He used to love to give out D-rugs. All right, so everyone there was running around the warehouse and tripping on the D-rugs, the lawsuit alleges. Combs started watching Korn on his cell phone, grabbed one of Biggie's shirts off a rack and began to, y'all see the word. He was fondling himself with it in front of the plaintiff. The suit states, how disrespectful is he? Combs subsequently threw the shirt over the producer's lap and arm, laughed, and said, "Rest in peace, Biggie," before leaving the room. We all know that anything that, at least I know, and I do believe that anything he says regarding Biggie Smalls is for the cameras and stuff, because this is just disrespectful. And I did hear this story also, but I thought this was there's another story about a man that said that he tried to corner him in a gym. That's what I thought this was, but it's not. So in an incident in March 2021, the plaintiff claims that he was set up. He states in the lawsuit he was lured to a meeting by Biggie's son. Oh, come on. Christopher C.J. Wallace Jr. and music producer Willie Mack. But upon his arrival, his head was covered and Combs appeared and yelling and ordered everyone to leave, the lawsuit alleges. Combs then allegedly attempted to force plaintiff to perform oral copulation on Combs while plaintiff's head was still covered. I'm pushing for criminal charges to be filed against Combs at a state and federal level, Hay told Shakya earlier this month in an interview where he stated he was the civil suit plaintiff. According to a police report first obtained last month by People magazine, Hay reported the allegations on September 20th of this year to Largo, Florida police. Gary Dordick, the producer's lawyer, said, "We intend to present our client's case to a jury in California, and we are confident that the truth will prevail." Dordick said in a message to the Times that he would not commit further, given that a defamation lawsuit was filed last week by Wallace. Wallace, the son of Biggie Smalls and singer Faith Evans, sued Hay for defamation in a Florida federal court last week, calling Hayes' recent interviews a calculated smear campaign that included false statements that he attended Combs' so-called freak-off parties and conspired to lure Hay to a location where Combs purportedly assaulted him. An attorney for Mack could not immediately be reached for comment. Wallace says in his defamation action that Hay worked on the remix titled Ready to Dance with Wallace and Mack in 2020. A single was released, but the remaining songs were not due to a lack of interest. According to the suit, Hay was upset over the decision not to release the music he worked on and began accusing Mack of inappropriate and abusive behavior in 2021, but Hay never made an assault allegation, the suit claims. Combs is incarcerated at Federal Correctional Institution Fort Dixon, a New Jersey low-security federal penitentiary. And as we all know, that is where Diddy allegedly, is on that wine. But the bad thing for Diddy is a lot of his rehabilitation is going to be based around his sobriety. So, drinking hooch in jail is not wise. And just so everybody is clear, there is a lot of D-Rugs in jail as well. So it's not like he cannot get D-Rugs in jail. And we have to remember, when we went over the letter, when I pulled the letter that he wrote for his sentencing, remember, he said in the letter, this is the first time that I've been clean in over, in 25 years. His words, not mine. So 25 years, and then he's arrested for like almost 2 years. Who's to say that he was not getting, any D-Rugs in jail? They would only test him for that if they have like a suspicion that he is, and taking like D-Rugs. Like, they don't just have like, okay, like we just randomly test inmates for D-Rugs. But at first he tried to have his kids come out and say that what people were reporting about him allegedly getting caught, drinking in jail was false. But then like TMZ didn't take too kindly to that, because it's their sources that told them. And if you look at some of their sources, all I'm going to say is just watch the show with Harvey Levin and one of Diddy's attorneys. Like, I think they come on Friday, Two Angry Men. So y'all draw it up. Where they getting their information from? Y'all draw it up. So, Puffy, you would hope that you beat a RICO case that you were facing life. And you would think that he would go to jail and do the right thing. But unfortunately, being a addict, whether it be alcoholic or a D-Rug, or you have a D-Rug habit, it is very, very hard to kick those things. And especially with the type of D-Rugs that came out in that trial that he was using and abusing. So I'm sure, he gets those urges. And if they have something there that'll make him feel remotely like anything that he felt when he was floating on a cloud nine, for 25 years, that is the thing. Also, yesterday, Dapper Dan from New York, said he was asked a question about Diddy. He did say Diddy is not the first person, which we all know, that in the music industry, this stuff was going on way before Diddy and generations back. He didn't really want to say too much about it, but what he did say is that He is on a record that is going to be coming out, and he's going to be speaking about this. And he's saying that we need a revolution. We need somebody like a Marvin Gaye to come along and reroute the way hip hop, um, the music industry is in the way it is. I already think that we already have someone that has changed the game that for the better. And a lot of people are upset about what happened, but Kendrick Lamar has definitely changed the game for the better. And you have a lot of the old hip hop artists making new music now, and I love it. I love it. And so, yeah, it's like, the mediocre artist or the artist, that's out here just lying about I'm a rapper, or I study battle rap for a living, and I need a one dance and all that kind of stuff. And come to find out, it's disappointing. It is very disappointing, and I'm not a Drake fan. I never have been, but it is disappointing to find out that he didn't write any of his music. None of his music did he write. And I'm not going to get into it because it is all over the internet. If you look, there's some very interesting stories. There's a guy on here, his name, his YouTube channel is deleted. He does very good coverage about rap and hip hop and Drake and the Kendrick saga. He does like deep dives. It's very interesting to see, but he is not the one that came up with the theory. And anybody on here that listens to Kendrick Lamar, if you are a Kendrick Lamar fan, really, knows that he puts out music, and it's on the surface, it seems like something, but in the music there are so many double entendres and so many different meanings that the music can take on. And so it's very interesting to see like what's coming out is actually in his music and was in his music a long time ago, but he was playing by the music industry's rules. And I'm telling y'all, it is just crazy. It is crazy how he was dissing Drake, trying to tell people a long time ago. If you listen to Kunta when he says, "I promise I wouldn't tell," but y'all out here sharing bars like a what did he say? Damn it, like a 2 million something. Like you got two beds in the room basically, but you sharing the bottom bunk. That's what he said. Right now I can't get it out. He's just genius. He has on. Is it on Mad City? Yeah, he has a song called Money Trees, and he says something about you something about the shade. The shade is that poetic justice is right under Money Trees, and in poetic justice, he tells you something about Drake in poetic justice. It's crazy, and everybody knows that this was his. His mixtapes was first. I want to say this was his first major album, and so yeah, he's telling you in these albums, there's nothing that he ever does that's just surface level, and he'll tell you in interviews. They ask him, like, what does this mean? And he's like, find out. I want you to think. I need you to like think. And he challenges you, and I like that about him. And so he has, you know, he packed Drake up and kind of got him out of here. The man ain't come back yet. But I when I leave here, you can best believe I already see there is a video out that something about Iceman dropped, and I'm like, okay, so I need to go over there and see that, because you'll be able to tell whether or not, he attempted to write the stuff or somebody else did, but his ghostwriters have exposed him. They've been dropping all of his reference tracks, and he has been exposed. So for all the people that's out here windmilling and saying that it's not true, no, has he doesn't have a good character, and he has kind of like stepped on all of these people, hindered their growth in the music industry in some way. And like, yeah, so now they're telling. Another thing is, how dare you try to sue UMG because of Not Like Us. But Kendrick is a different type of artist than the Clips are, than Pusha T. But for me, I think that they're a lot alike. But Kendrick is just on such a different level that UMG wasn't really trying to go there with Kendrick. But they were like shelving a lot of Pusha T's projects because Drake has done a lot of stuff to people behind the scenes. It's very disturbing. That's not hip hop. That's not the culture. That's not why hip hop was started. And so, and it's sad. And so, the Clips, which is Pusha T and his brother Malice, they came out with a song called Whips and Chains featuring Kendrick Lamar. He was not dissing Drake. Drake goes to UMG to like try to stop the project. He's mad because, remember, Pusha T is the person that exposed the fact that he had the son that he was hiding. And he said, I wasn't hiding my son from the world. I was hiding the world from my son. So ever since then, he's been behind the scenes, basically killing all of Pusha T's projects. So with this one, they came to him and told them to take Kendrick's verse off of their single Whips and Chains. The Clips refused. They're like, no, we're not doing that. So they paid a substantial amount of money to get out of their record deal. And now they're signed independently under Roc Nation, under Jay-Z. They own all of their masters, and they were able to release that banger, Whips and Chains. So, yeah, I'm going over. They said he drive Iceman. I want to see, and the reason why I think I went off on a tangent and told y'all about that story is because one of the reasons why Drake didn't have a real comeback for Kendrick when the beef was going on over a year ago, and the beef could have been over, but Drake decided to prolong it by doing the unthinkable, suing because he lost a rap battle. And everybody was coming out saying, oh, he has ghostwriters. And then the ghostwriters producer started just releasing all of the reference tracks that Drake was sent to Drake on Instagram. And then another ghostwriter started leaking. So he did not feel comfortable having anybody write his music. So he came out with the little mediocre stuff, and it's not you battling Kendrick Lamar. Are you crazy? This guy, I don't know if he's been battle rapping since he was 12, 13 years old. Like, and I guess because, everybody looks at Kendrick as this conscious writer, they didn't know that he was going to go there. And what I have not heard anybody say is that about Euphoria. I don't know if y'all listened to it or you were into the battle when it was going on. Euphoria was 6 minutes. Euphoria was originally 18 minutes. 18 minutes. I said, oh, Kendrick must have been, oh my goodness. Just imagine if he were to release 18 minutes of a disc that he had. But what happened is, like, TDE, they're so tight as a unit. Punch was in Germany with SZA, and he flew back here to hear Euphoria. And Punch said he had to tell Kendrick, whoa, wait a minute. I don't think this is a good idea. I don't think this is a good idea. And he's like, I can only tell him. And normally, like, you know, he'll listen and consider it. And so he did consider it. It removed a whole lot of stuff because the disc went from 18 minutes to 6 minutes. And I would have been there for all 18 minutes of the disc. All 18 minutes. If you want to see the interview with Punch from TDE, where he talks about this record, it's on this Curtis Hill. He's a producer, a rapper, and also he's a YouTuber. He has the interview on his channel because Punch did interview with Curtis Hill, and the interview was excellent. But he said he was in Germany and SZA was performing, and he was like, SZA had 2 like dates in between before she was going to have another show. He said after she performed, he hopped on the jet and flew here. It was that important because that's how they work in a brotherhood like that. So he came here. He said he kicked everybody out the studio and said, Kendrick, let me hear it. He said this guy had 18 minutes worth of stuff, and he said he was listening to it like, oh, I think you should. This you can leave out. You can leave this out. You can yeah. And Kendrick, he condensed it into 6 minutes, but Drake has not been able to recover since the slaughter. And so, he should have listened to Lil Wayne when he signed him. He told him, keep it Canadian. Don't come over here trying to be a battle rapper or start no beefs. I'm just telling you. So, he's not signed to Lil Wayne anymore. He thought that he could get out here and spar, with the big dogs. And I'm just telling you, if you are really paying attention to what's going on, anytime Kendrick hits a stage or anything that he does, he's trolling Drake. Kendrick is I don't know why people think like he's so fun. He's like just a serious person all the time. He's funny. He actually is. But he's trolling Drake. Every time he comes out and does something, he's trolling him. You got to know what it is to look to be like, oh, damn. But you know who else is trolling Drake? This is crazy. So y'all know that the Dodgers won the World Series this year. And I have it on my shorts. Drake has an endorsement deal with Nike. Nike came out with a whole commercial playing Kendrick Lamar Squabble Up. And it's just mind blowing. I'm like, what? And so then Fox, MLB, that is the Fox sports channel. They made a whole meme with Kendrick Lamar's GNX, and he's in it looking out the window, and Drake standing behind him like this, and it has "Not Like Us" on the bottom. Normally, when somebody wins a championship, if it's basketball, football, anything, they sing the song "We Are the Champions." No, the Dodgers played their "Not Like Us," so he just can't escape it. But listen, there's enough evidence online that it is his fault because you put it online to support anything that was said about him, and he's being sued left and right. It is crazy. When Cat Williams said that this was going to be the year of exposure, he wasn't lying, because this is crazy. It's been nonstop. If I was Drake, I would just go sit somewhere. I wouldn't tweet. I wouldn't be on Instagram. I wouldn't post nothing. I would just need to go sit somewhere for a good about 6 months to a year and just not say anything. You've made a lot of enemies out here, and these enemies are not, they are not sitting quietly. So, but he's still on here trolling people, and bothering people. So, there may be another beef coming, and I don't even know why Drake wants that. You're not built for it. You filed a lawsuit. Then you went and filed an appeal because you lost the lawsuit. Yeah, take your L and move on because you're no match. Somebody should have told you. Who told you could hang in there with Kendrick Lamar? That man murdered him. That is YouTube. Don't start no. I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about. For real. Like I'm talking. You know what I'm talking about. Nobody passed away. YouTube. Well, but he unalived his career. Let me just put it like that. YouTube be bugging. I'm telling y'all. He unalived his career. I don't know how he's gonna. I don't think he can. He can't come back from it because hip hop, the culture don't. We don't want him over here in this. He don't know. He don't really know what our culture is, and people were not understanding when Kendrick Lamar is saying like he's not black. He's not saying because his father's black, and just he's not cultured. He didn't go through a lot of things that we went through here. And so that's why, and he also has a big ego. So he thought suing was a way to do something. Like all the people that have beef before, we know Jay-Z is one of my favorite rappers. Nas ethered him for real. Like that was ugly. Like nobody sued Biggie and Pop, 50 Cent, Ja Rule. Nobody sued. Like, what are you doing here? Now we got NLE Chopper and NBA Youngboy dissing each other. Like I said, I just hope that their diss stays on wax. Nobody needs to do any, unalive. And then now we got Blue Feces back on the internet. I just can't even. I don't even want to see none of that stuff. Like, it is crazy how he looks. He looks crazy. And anybody that believes that he wasn't tooting it up in jail is crazy. Y'all need to go and really listen to the freaking videos that Blueface got out here and listen to what he's saying. In the video where he's playing an officer and the guy is in the orange jumpsuit, go back and listen to that. I'm trying to remember this other, if I can remember off the top of my head. I tried to not see him because it's just, for the life of me, you just spent 2 years of your life in jail and you came right back out here doing the same thing that you were doing. And it's just, it's crazy. But I did watch that video about that. And it's another video where he says, when they walk you in a jail cell with somebody that's 2 times bigger than you, and you just give up, he's trying to tell y'all right there. Let me tell you something. All those tattoos on his face, ain't no way in the world that he was in agreement that he was going to put that stuff on his face. He has the Walgreens logo in the middle of his head. He got the Chase logo over here. He got the baseball MLB logo over here. I don't even know what the other stuff is. But what is the significance behind those logos on your face? His response is, because he don't want nobody to ask him who he is. He wants them to be able to walk up to him, look at his face, and tell what he is, who he is. So over here, he has that schoolyard, whatever he's a part of. Over here, all that other stuff, that is not going to tell them that you're a part of the schoolyard, what the Blue Boys or whatever they are. They made him get those tattoos. He was somebody's biatch when he was behind the wall. But now you out here, you can tell the way he's out here disrespecting these women. But I don't know who raised them. I don't know who raised some of these men nowadays. He got a daddy, but I don't know. I don't know where he went wrong. I don't know. Because you went wrong somewhere. But these women, these girls, women, girls, whatever they are, they're signing up for this bull crap. More power to you. More power to you. But I just thought that he would do better. And he's not. But something, if you look in his eyes, there is something in that man's eyes that's so sad. He has a sadness in his eyes. And he actually low-key acts like he missed jail sometime. I'm just saying, listen. I'm just saying what I saw. Listen, because I can't even go on. I can't even. I don't spend much time on Instagram. I can't. I cannot. I'm not tuning into the Blue Feces Carlissa show. I just cannot. And somebody better. I don't know, anybody that's a Jade and Alexis fan, tell her that she is a danger, and that she might be. I don't know where she developed this toughness from that she got calling people out because she want to squabble up with them. Girl, you couldn't even do nothing with Biggie, and Biggie never want to fight on Zeus. You the first one. And you trying to box with Krishan? I doubt it. That's something that you don't want. But you was asking for it, but I think they accomplished what they was trying to accomplish with Krishan. They was trying to accomplish and trying to get her to do something so that they would have reason to go to the cops or something and have her arrested. And unfortunately, Krishan has said some things, and let's just hope that Cuckoo is lying about trying to bring the law into this, because it's a sad. It's sad. It's sad. But you could tell they were trying to set her up, and they were all in on it. And so it is what it is. I can't stomach too much of that. Like right now, I'm going to do my own stuff. Listen. So, but anyway, I'm glad I had this time with y'all. I may do a video on the McDonald's girl. I don't know if y'all saw that case. It's a sad case. My mind is just blown because I understand that she deserves a defense, but the route that her attorneys are going, I'm like, what? Listen, she done told it all. So I may do a video on her. I may do a video. I may do a video on her. I may cover that. She had a preliminary hearing, and I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out what her attorneys are thinking about. Do y'all actually think? Okay. Y'all actually think that, child, lock this evil woman up and throw away the key? This ain't her first time slashing nobody. And that's another thing that her attorney, like, what are you doing? This is not the first time she slashed somebody. She has another case. She received a suspended sentence for it. Not to mention, she sat in the car and said that she was going to go and unalive her. That's premeditated. And then y'all arguing that what she had over her face wasn't a mask. It was actually a hoodie that zipped up. Either way, she was thoroughly concealed. All the way. She had to tell the delivery person at McDonald's, because she was sneaking in the back door, I work here. Because she looked crazy. What the heck is her attorney talking about? I said, oh my goodness, this is too much. And sometimes I'm like, you know what, maybe I should just go live and do it. But like, maybe one day I'll tell you, I'm going to do a lot. Maybe one, yeah, well, maybe one day I'll tell y'all what I'm going through. But your girl Survivor Speaks has been, outside of, my health and everything is great now. I'm just going through a whole lot. And so, I got to think about if I want to release that. So that's why I'm not on here like a lot. But yeah, life is life, and it is what it is. You got to pick up the pieces and move on. And when people show you who they are, the first time you see something, you see a red flag, you better believe them. You better go with your instinct, go with your gut, and believe in your own self, because when people show you who they are, that's who they are. It's no, hands down. That's Survivor Speaks advice to y'all. And also, the other advice that Survivor Speaks is going to leave y'all with today is that men get breast cancer too. Because of the stigma surrounding the word breast, we have changed the word to pec and or chest cancer over here on the Survivor Speaks channel. So we're going to keep bringing awareness that men get breast cancer too. And to all of my beautiful ladies, please make sure you're getting your mammograms and make sure you're filling your boobies to make sure that you are all right. All right. And don't you dare let anybody come into your house and disturb the peace that passes all understanding. I am Survivor Speaks. I'll see you guys in the next live premiere, video upload, or whatever. Make sure you hit that like button on the way out. Turn on all your notifications so when I do go live, because we do have our cases coming up, but let's push the case back. We have a case that I am covering that is supposed to be starting on December 1st. I love you back, Allie. That's my Allie. We do have a case that's supposed to be starting on December 1st. The case about, J Love. This is the second trial for that. They didn't have his body before. Now they found his remains. And that was a good case that we just stumbled upon over here. So hopefully I'll be in a space to go over it. I do still take care of my mother. So some days we may have to catch it at night, like, in the evening. Well, we had came up because Allie can the evening is better for Allie anyway. And so I really would love for her to be here. She's my managing mod. For that. So yeah, that might just work anyway. We can just still do it that way and then run through it. And then, yeah, but that's coming up. So unless they postpone it, we are going to be covering that case. And I think I updated you guys that the Naziah Harris case is not starting until February of 2026. Its victims are coming out in, and so they're having to do more. I do too, Allie, and I just wish that I'm telling you, I'm gonna be we're gonna be in a space where, we'll be here doing so much more. It's just that life is life, and right now, and I'm just yeah, all over the place myself. So, but yeah, we're gonna get to a space where we're going to be here. But yeah, Naziah Harris is February 2026. There are a lot of other victims that are coming forward, and having the courage to say something. And so far from what for what I know is that they're going to be running all his cases together. And so he has a lot of victims, and I hope that they all come forward. And I'm still sticking by the grandmother and her aunt. Because I believe Naziah's aunt had something to do with her unaliving. And so, like I I believe that they both should be in jail. That's just, you know, it is what it is. They should be in jail because they got to understand and perjure themselves. Like they're gonna be they're gonna be witnesses anyway. But like, can we believe what they're saying really? In the preliminary hearing, they lied. Like, so lock them up for perjury, but lock them up for this baby too because they let it happen. So, um, I saw somebody say that they found the skull the other day. I'm gonna have to research that and see if they're saying, you know, that is something that is, if that is Naziah. As you all should very well know, they have never found Naziah as of yet. But I'm gonna look into that story about the skull that they found the other day, and if that's something that's related to Naziah, you know, I'm definitely going to come on here and tell you guys about that. And Allie is on it. She got some of the paperwork for Tory Lanez. I don't know if I want to. I mean, the YouTuber I think she's basically cooked. I think that she's going to do time. She's going to do time. So, Allie, I have a question for you. Did you see any of the other coverage on another channel about the YouTuber that's being sued by Megan? I think that there's a lot that came out besides that case, the case about Tory. She's like she's in hot water. And so she has like, there's 2 additional cases that have been filed against her. And so I think that she's going to have to do time. That's what I believe. And so, you know what? That case is coming up. That trial is starting soon. That case, the Meg Thee Stallion against the YouTuber. I guess she has a Twitch. I know she's on Station Head, Milagro Grams. That trial is supposed to be starting. I think Milagro Grams is in a lot of trouble. There's some things that happened. A new case came out. Maybe I'll pull the paperwork and do a video on that. Because there's a new case that came out, and it starts Monday. Oh wow. Maybe we can do that then. But it will have to be, like I said, like, you know, at nighttime. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe I'll look into that. But is that federal? If it's federal, you know, there's no cameras allowed in the courtroom. But if it's not, it's federal. I believe that Megan Kunith will be covering that. I'm pretty sure that Megan Kunith is probably going to be going to that trial because she's been a big reporter in this case. But I'm not sure if she's going to do it like our guy over here on Twitter, where he updates us and we were able to follow the Diddy trial like that. Megan Kunith likes to, you know, come to her channel and, you know, and do stuff over there. So I know that she will be, but I don't know if she's going to be, you know, typing out what's going on Twitter while it's going on. I'm almost sure that's why I said I already like Megan Kunith. Yeah, she's been covering this. But I don't know if maybe we'll see, or maybe I'll just, you know, see what Megan posts and we probably can go over it. But Milagro has a lot to, she has a lot going on. She was fined $100,000. She was sanctioned, and she owes, before the trial even starts, like $100K because she was told not to get rid of any evidence, and she did. Oh yeah, so okay, Allie, I see. Yeah, That's what I was thinking. But if our other friend decides to take interest in this, he likes to put it on X as it's happening. So maybe I'll look and see if that he does that, and maybe I'll cover it. But yes, so yeah, she was sanctioned $100K because she got rid of evidence they told her not to. And so the judge sanctioned her. And girl, you 100K is what you gonna. And she was asking her supporters for the money. I said, what? All right, y'all, that's good. Because y'all go ahead and try to help her with something that she was told not to do. And she did it anyway. That's why I say you have to be responsible with your platforms when you have one. But you know, you can't tell everybody. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Okay, so y'all, I will see you guys back here. If and when I'm thinking about doing the McDonald's girl, the video, because that girl she is crazy. I'm thinking about it now. But anyway, let me get out of here. Ali, kiss baby A for me. Nessa, thank you for coming. Lynn Ali, thank you for tapping in. Anybody that was here that did not hop in the chat, I'll thank you. I thank you all. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. If you have made it to the end of the video, you are the real MVP. So don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video.